Why new players don't stay in World of Warcraft Dragonfight.
I saw some of your comments about how bad the leveling experience can be. Spending a bit more time in-game, I had an idea. I want to experience this game from a brand new player's perspective. So that's what I'm going to do.
Big mistake.
I'm going to level to 60 as a new player would to see how bad it really is. First things first, we need to select a server. Oh wow, look at all these servers marked for new players. Well, that's hypothetically what I am, so I guess I'll pick Asgalore because it has a cool name. Next, we need to make a character. I want to be a wizard, so I guess I'll be a mage. As for the race, I gotta go Blood Elf because, obviously. One sec, I'm going to make myself look fabulous.
Wow.
Now I just need a name. There we go. The adventures of Noob McNoobie are about to begin.
Oh, I've raided with him before.
Starting zone? Let's go Exile's Reach, because I have legitimately never done it before. Alright, we're all set. Let the adventure begin. Now I want to set some ground rules for this character. I will not use any heirlooms, and obviously I can't send any gold or items to this character.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to level mostly through questing, but I'll do the occasional dungeon just to see how it goes at different levels. Alright, loading in, and what is that? Is that a Chinese gold seller spamming in Mandarin? What the actual F? I'm not really sure how to react to this. I see the 1 to 60 to 70.
Is this real? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? This is insane. Well, it's smart though, right? I mean, because that's where you want to sell the carries. Is as soon as somebody's leveling, you know, oh, you're going to play the game? All right, well, here we go. We're going to post it right here. This was happening 10 years ago. How many of you guys remember you were on a server where you'd see fucking a bunch of Chinese letters and then a link of the fucking challenge mode Mists of Pandaria Phoenix and then more Chinese letters and then a website? Oh my God, we had these all, that's all Trade Chat was.
WoW in China, and now they're all coming over to American servers through a VPN or something. Experience is coming fast, and I feel very powerful. Frostbolt is easily two-shotting things.
That's crazy.
Okay, when did they stop putting new abilities on your bars at low levels? I thought that I only had Frostbolt. It's not a big deal for me, but a new player might struggle really hard on this quest that requires you to use abilities they probably wouldn't even know they had. Yes, this is kind of nitpicky.
No, it's not nitpicky at all. If a player does not intuitively understand like what to do in a game, that's probably the game's fault. There are too many people who are experienced video game enjoyers who are unable to see the world through the eyes of someone who is the uninitiated. The reason why a 5-year-old can use a smartphone is not because the 5-year-old is a fucking genius. It's because of the person that made the smartphone is a fucking genius.
Of an MMO is where most players quit. It's stupid, but this could legitimately turn players away from the game if they think the quest is bugged or something.
Yeah, of course.
A group quest. Let's see if I can solo it. Easy peasy.
Wow.
Though I will say I'm starting to feel weaker. Yes, that was supposed to be a tougher enemy, but my Frostbolt isn't doing as much as it did, even on normal enemies. And on top of that, it's noticeably slower to cast. It doesn't feel great, but it's a pretty minor complaint at this point.
I'm so sick of games where you just get weaker every level. All you do is get weaker and weaker and weaker. It's so fucking annoying.
Right, level 10, and they have a fake dungeon for me. This is actually pretty cool. It's teaching new players how to join groups.
Yeah, I think this is good.
Oh yeah, I get to choose my spec. I'll just stick with Frost for now because it's what I've been doing. Another nitpick here, but once you select your spec, it should automatically switch over to the talent page. I wouldn't doubt that some new players miss it.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
And that's the dungeon. Gotta say, I'm impressed. I think it's simple enough for new players.
I think Exile's Reach was good. Overall, I think that it was good. Like, yeah, sure, there are things they could do better, but overall, it was good.
And it teaches them some pretty basic things, like don't stand in bad stuff. Overall, I'd give this intro zone an 8 out of 10. It feels a bit hand-holdy for me,
I'd say
but
9,
I've played the game for years.
I think it's great.
My only real gripes are that new players might have a hard time finding their spellbook and talent trees. Alright, we're out of the starting zone. Now time to start the real adventure. I've decided to level through Battle for Azeroth. And yes, I know how much I've roasted it in my earlier video, but I have 2 reasons for this. First is that it's the expansion the game guides you to by default. So I would assume.
Well, then you should obviously do that one, because that's what a player that's trying the game out is going to do. They're going to see this is the one they want me to do. I'll just do this one.
And 2, I haven't unlocked the allied races from there yet, so I see it as a two birds, one stone situation. And to make it fair, I won't let my criticisms of the story affect how I rate the leveling experience. And there's level 20, gained from exploration. So my overall item level is 20, but I got these pants that are item level 54, and my heirlooms that I'm not using would be 54 as well. That's a bit far behind, but it's not too terrible yet. I will say that I feel significantly weaker than I did at the start. Frostbolt feels like a wet noodle now, but if I get a
little fun fact here, when was the last time he saw another new player?
I've decided to do a dungeon. Looks like the wait time for DPS is about 6 minutes. That's not too bad. While past me is leveling in the background, I want to thank all you guys for commenting in my other video. That was super cool of you, so I figured I'd respond to some of them. Benjamin said, not a great take at all. We all have different opinions. Fry said, good effing video.
Wow.
Thanks, man. Boomer Bill said, I don't think we needed a video about you not liking WoW Story. It's cool that you like being a nobody. Maybe there's a game where you can do that. It doesn't
just like a boomer. Exactly what I would expect him to say.
Doesn't seem like you finished the video, but that's okay. I didn't really need you to. Maybe there are some videos out there that you can enjoy. Anthony said this was a good video. Thanks. I appreciate it. A couple of people disagree with me on the Chosen One aspect, which is fine. If you like it, great. I just happen to not like it.
You know what I think? I think being the Chosen One in the story is completely irrelevant. Because the Final Fantasy story, you've been fucking foretold by this magic crystal mommy, and she says that you're really special. You know what? You're the most special. Everybody likes you, and you just go around and you just solve everybody's problems. Wow, there's a fucking elemental force of nature that's terrorizing the world? Oh, just go kill him. Okay. That's done. And you know what? You're level 20 when you do that. You're level 30. Who the fuck cares? So it was a great story. I loved it. I thought it was great. So I actually, before Final Fantasy, I would have had the outlook that being the Chosen One in the story is bad. But after that, I actually don't think so. I think that you can tell a great story where you're just a random adventurer that does random things, like in classic World of Warcraft. And I think that you can also tell a great story like in Final Fantasy.
Another thing I want to touch on here is that there's a gray area between being the Chosen One and a random hobo.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me when somebody calls me a champion, but it feels forced and weird when I'm called the champion. Arthur said, Dragonflight is the worst expansion of all time. I'm sorry you feel that way, and I hope you find something you enjoy playing. Legitimately. I don't mean that sarcastically. JJ seems to have not watched the video at all and just guessed how it went. Thanks for commenting.
It's always a bad idea to bring up these comments, because you have to understand that the people that make comments like this dog is smarter than he is. And this picture is from like fucking 2006, so the dog's probably dead now. The dog's probably still smarter than he is. The people, they're fucking dumb, man.
Quite a few people disagree with me on Legion, which again is fine, but I guess I'll explain my stance on it. As a story, I think the overarching story is good, but I hate that it's forced through the perspective of me being the Chosen One.
Yeah, it's because people don't give a shit about that. Good expansion says PvP and the insanely shit RNG. The people that are rating the expansion, people rate WoW expansions based off of the content that they do them in. So if you say that Legion was bad and you're talking about the story, they're going to be like, no, it wasn't. I loved Mythic Plus. You're wrong. But you're talking about two different things.
But I absolutely hate the exposition dump quests where you just stand there waiting for NPCs to talk. And as for when it was the current expansion, it felt like Blizzard doubled down on a lot of things that drove me away in the first place. Mission tables, Titan forging, artifacts, artifact power, welfare legendaries, way too much RNG, and of course, the Chosen One thing. It's cool if you liked it. I personally didn't. And finally, Swaglord YOLO says, "Okay, boomer. Weren't you that guy that got banned in Classic for AFKing Battlegrounds?" Ooh, there's my dungeon. These dinosaurs can wait. And it's already in progress. Let's hope this is not a bad sign.
Okay.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. And I got some fat loots from it, which is item level 64. That's pretty good. It's weird that BFA randoms don't give you the Satchel of Helpful Goods. I think those should definitely be added to every expansion's dungeons, because I suspect my item level is going to get really...
Wait, why would it? Yeah, I didn't even know that didn't happen.
There's level 30. And I gotta say, I'm getting pretty weak. Outside of Flurry and Fingers of Frost, my damage is pitiful, and I kind of know what I'm doing. I can only imagine how this would feel for a new player. So my item level is up to 55, and my heirlooms would be at 82, which is not great. Anyways, I'm going to do another dungeon. Alright, there's the dungeon. Let's see how this goes.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, somebody's already dead, and I have no idea what's going on. Alright, that was a bit rough, but we made it through without wiping. And I got another piece of loot.
Yeah, this was a good dungeon. I liked this dungeon a lot. It was fun.
Which is item level 92. Too bad I can't equip it because it's a mace. I thought that wasn't supposed to happen. Alright, there's 40, and I feel weaker still. I know people are going to argue that the game should get harder as you progress, but this isn't even a difficulty thing. The mobs aren't getting harder. They're just getting more tedious.
And this is the problem with, like, because this is always the way the game was, where it got hard. Like, for example, whenever you're level 15, it's easier for you to kill mobs than whenever you're level 50. The way that WoW solved that is that you were killing different mobs. Whenever you have scaling and you have people that are leveling in the same areas for too long, they start to feel how they're getting outscaled by the mobs. Now, this should be solved with better leveling. And leveling that, like, you're going to different places. Because, yeah, if you're fighting brown orcs and then you're fighting green orcs and then, oh, you get up to the red orcs and then, oh my god, they're really hard to kill. Bro, they're just a higher level. They have more base health. Like, what's really the difference between that and scaling? Functionally, there isn't any. But it feels bad. And I think that the way something feels in a video game matters a lot. Even if you think, oh, well, that's not logically the way that things should work. And, you know, whenever you really think about it, it would not work that way because actually you are getting more powerful. Your damage is getting higher. You have more tools. You know, they're over-engineered damage for you. Exactly. But, like, the way that it's solved is by having players go to different places very regularly or to progress through the different areas.
Frostbolt went from 2-shotting things with a 1.5 second cast time to 10-shotting things with a 2-second cast time. It feels bad, and now even my cheese combo of Flurry, Frost Orb, Ice Lance isn't even killing things as fast as it did.
What a surprise.
Anyways, my item level is up to 85, which is around where it should have been 9 levels ago, and my heirlooms would be at 113, which puts me at 28 below, which is slightly worse than it was 10 levels ago. Level 50. My item level is now 111. Heirlooms would be at 145, which puts me at 34 item levels below. I finally noticed that I hadn't picked up the talent Lonely Winter, which is just a straight up 25% damage boost.
That would help.
So after I got that, things got a bit quicker.
And it's, again, you got to keep in mind that, like, a new player is dumb as fuck. You know why? Because they're new. So they probably wouldn't have picked that one up either.
And unless I'm comboing Flurry with Fingers of Frost, kill times are really slow. Level 55 now. And I gotta say, it's getting dicey. The time to kill enemies has gotten rather annoying.
Well, let's see it.
I can easily die if I'm not careful. I did do another dungeon, which was a bit grueling, and I managed to score 3 pieces of loot, none of which I was capable of equipping, so yay, I guess.
That's so stupid. Why would you give... that's so dumb.
And finally, level 60. Those last few levels were rough. I expect a new player would have died quite a few times if they didn't just give up.
It's too bad he didn't show more of the combat.
My item level just went up to 144. Heirlooms at this level would be at 183. So I'm 39 item levels below. That's a pretty big difference, and it shows. I have never felt weaker. Even using my CDs, my damage is not great. This really goes to show how bad the scaling is for content pre-Dragonflight, especially from 50 to 60. My title might seem like clickbait, but honestly, this is a bad experience for new players. Now, I know
well, I think that one of the big reasons why it's a bad experience is that, like, you didn't even interact with any other players. Even inside of the dungeon, like, I see the chat. I guess you guys don't see it because my camera's in the way. They're not even talking to each other. Like, you're just effectively playing a shitty single-player game. So, yeah, big surprise people aren't going to stick around. Of course not.
I know that many of you are thinking this is so they can sell the character boosts. But honestly, I think that's a bad sales tactic. If a player levels from, say, 1 to 40, the chances of them buying the boost are probably pretty slim.
Yeah, because they're already halfway invested. They're going to feel like, oh, well, I'm wasting money if I buy the boost now. And also, if they're not enjoying the game, why would they pay money to play the game more if they are already not enjoying it the more they play it? It's just like, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, they've already gotten this far. And if they decide to buy it right off the bat, their action bars will be immediately filled with a bunch of abilities they have no clue on how to use.
I think that you should not be able to buy a boost until you level 1 character naturally. I think it's a huge mistake allowing people to boost right at the beginning. Because you have no fucking idea what you're doing. Like, it's not fun to just be given 20 different abilities. You don't know how any of these things work together. You have 3 different systems that these abilities work together with. Like, how could it... Like, fuck that.
New players are expected to go through this grandiose story, only for it to be cut off before they get any payout of it. You hit 60, don't worry about that big bad you've been chasing. It's time to go to the Dragon Isles for a completely different story. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say the new player got this far. They hit Dragonflight and have a good time getting the rest of the way to max level. In fact, they get so into the game that they want to start doing harder content. So of course, they start looking for a guild. Now remember the first decision I made at the start of the video. That's right. I selected one of the new player realms. Or in other words, a dead realm. Guess they gotta buy a transfer now. I know why things are this way. It's easier to just leave it. Dragonflight is their focus, and it shows. They don't want to waste the resources on the rest of the game. Also, they want you to press these buttons. A new player already has to spend $15 per month of subscription.
6 faction changes for $95? 6 character transfers for $80? What the hell are you talking about? What the fuck is this shit? What is this? Like, why? Bro, WoW players are like, they've only played one and I'm a WoW player. I used to be like this. They've only played one game for the last 15 years. Well, of course it's like that. That's how it is. Well, yeah. And that's that's all there is to it. So
and another
stupid.
50 or so once they get to Dragonflight. Now they need to spend more if they want to have a good experience.
Wow, they can almost afford Diablo 4.
Fair, after leveling to 60 without heirlooms, these buttons are definitely more compelling than they were at the start. And probably even more so for someone inexperienced in the game. But I think I've found an even more compelling button to press.
Okay. Let's see. WoW is insanely outdated. It's just crazy how bad it is, man. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm sorry to say, but like, this is a good video because I think it goes to show like the monotony, the drudgery, and just the boredom that leveling a new character really provides. Part of the issue is there's 20 years worth of content that has to exist in a game somewhere. No, they could solve it. It would be so easy to solve it, but they don't want to because they're too busy trying to make people work in the office, trying to justify a multi-million-dollar building rather than fixing the game, which is why they have the building in the first place. I think that, like, I feel like the problem with WoW right now, like retail WoW, is you need a new game. There's 500 different mounts, 300 different titles, thousands of different pets, you know, 50,000, like 10,000 different transmog items, you know, 200 different raids, 500 different dungeons, 7 different expansions. Like, it's just too many, man. Like, it's just too much going on. Like, oh, well, this is from the seasonal reward from the 4th season of Battle for Azeroth that came out in 2020. Like, oh, this is for getting Gladiator and Legion the 2nd season at the beginning of the expansion. Like, oh my god, man. What is this? There's so much in the game. It just, You need a reset. The game needs a fucking reset. And this is speaking of somebody who's collected fucking everything in a game. It needs a reset. None of it matters. Like, it's all just fucking pixels. Like, yeah, it's cool and I'm happy that I got it and it's great. But what really matters is like the pursuit of it. That's the, like, I remember whenever I got, for example, in PoE, whenever I got Calm's Heart, the day that I got Calm's Heart was the day I stopped playing the game. I did it. I beat the game. I got the chess piece I wanted. I saved up all my currency. It was like it was like 2015, 14 or something like that. It was like right whenever it was like I went back and checked. I don't have the legacy one. It is the 500 health one, not the 1000. However, I had this chess piece and I had wanted it more than anything, and I got it, and then I quit because I achieved my goal. It's not about the items. It's about getting the items.